Hello everyone! Welcome back to our Math 8 YouTube channel. At kung di ka pa nakapag-subscribe, mag-subscribe na para updated ka sa ating weekly lesson. And for today's video, we're going to have the triangle congruence, proves statements, and triangle congruence. This is our lesson for the third quarter, week number 7. Are you ready to learn? Let's go! The most essential learning competency proves statements on triangle congruence. In this lesson, you're going to prove statements on congruent triangles. So, it is very important that you have already mastered the way of identifying the congruent angle and congruent sides of two congruent triangles. Below are the definitions, theorems, and postulates that can be used in proving triangle congruence. So we have here the CPCTC, meaning corresponding parts of congruent triangles are congruent. VAT, vertical angle theorem. RPE, reflexive property of equality. TPE, transitive property of equality. We also have definition of right triangles, definition of congruent segment, definition of segment bisector. The sum of the angles on a triangle is 180 degrees, and all right angles are congruent. Okay, so let us have an example of proving two triangles are congruent. So, let us have this example. Given triangle AMR, so this is triangle AMR, and triangle BGT, so this is triangle BGT, are right triangles. Angle R, so we have here the mark of angle R, is congruent to angle T, and then side MR, or segment MR, is congruent to segment GT. So we have the markings. Prove that AR, so this side AR is congruent to side BT. Okay? So we have the two column proof, the statements and the reason. So for statement number 1, that is always our given. So triangle AMR and triangle BGT are right triangles. So the reason, that is given. And then we have another statement that is given. So we are going to write that on statement number 2. Angle R is congruent to angle T, and MR or segment MR is congruent to segment GT. So that is also given. Now if we are going to analyze, angle R is congruent to angle T, so that is an angle. So we already have here A. And then segment MR is congruent to segment GT, so that is S. So meaning to say, if we are going to prove that these two triangles are congruent, meron na tayong A at meron na tayong S. So we already have angle and side. So two possible na lang choices natin sa mga postulate. It's either ASA or SAS. Now what will be our statement number 3? So statement number 3 can be based on our statement number 1, because it seems that we have here a right triangle. So we can say that angle M, itong may small box na to, base sa figure, and angle G are right angles. So bakit naging right angles? Kasi nga, based sa number 1, yung triangle AMR and triangle BGT, they are right triangles. So kung right triangles yan, therefore may right angles. So that is the definition of right triangles. Now, if angle M and angle G are right angles, therefore they have the same measure. So we can say that, so ang statement number 4 natin ay base naman sa statement number 3, wherein angle M is congruent to angle G. Bakit? Bakit congruent si angle M and angle G? Kasi nga, parehas silang right angles. Right angles are congruent. So, meron na tayong another angle here. So, nakabuo na ba tayo ng postulate? Yes, meron na tayong A, S, A. So, sa statement number 5, kung naka-form na tayo ng postulate na ASA, we can say that triangle AMR, eto, is congruent to triangle BGT. Congruent yung dalawang triangle. Bakit? Because of this postulate, the ASA congruence postulate. Okay, so tapos na ba ron yung ating pagpuprove? No. Why? Because we are proving another part of these two triangle. No, yung corresponding parts pa na AR at BT. So since yung dalawang triangle ay congruent by us sa postulate, therefore, we can say that AR or segment AR, eto, is congruent to segment BT. Why? Dito na papasok ang CPCTC or corresponding parts of congruent triangles are congruent. So, bakit siya naging CPCTC? Kasi na-prove na natin sa statement number 5 na yung dalawang triangle ay congruent. Kaya, yung mga natitira pang parts nito ay congruent na din. That is CPCTC. Okay? Let us have another example para mas clear, mas malinaw sa inyo. So, we have here the figure and then the given segment FJ. So, this is the diagonal. Ito yon. Bisect angle CJH. This is angle CJH. Ayan. So, binisect daw siya ni FJ. So, kung binisect si angle CJH ni FJ, magiging congruent ito at saka ito. Okay? So, may mark na kaagad dyan. Now, side or segment JC, etong may mark na isa, is congruent to segment JH. Okay? So, ang ipoprove natin is angle C, this is angle C, ay congruent ba sa angle H? So, let us start. Okay. So, our statement number 1, segment FJ bisects angle CJH. So, that is coming from the given. Now, our statement number 2, so, we also have another given, segment JC is congruent to segment JH. So, that is also given. Now, for our statement number 3, now, since in our statement, isa pa lang yung napuprove natin congruent. That is statement number 2, yan ay side. So, dahil S pa lang yan, kulang pa tayo ng mga congruent parts. Okay? So, now, ano kaya ilalagay natin sa statement number 3? So, check natin yung statement 1. Tingnan nyo ha. Si segment FJ bisects angle CJH. So, kung binisect ni FJ si CJH, ibig sabihin, nagkaroon tayo ng 2 congruent angles. Question, ano yung dalawang congruent angles? So, we can say that angle FJC, ito yung minarkahan ko ng isa, is congruent to angle FJH. Ito yon. Tanong, bakit sila congruent? Simply because si FJ bisect si JH, and that is because of the definition of angle bisector. No? Binisect si angle. So, meron na tayo ritong angle. So, we already have S and A. Okay? So, ang mga possible na lang na postulate na pwede natin gamitin to prove that these two triangles are congruent ay SAS or ASA. So, what will be our statement number 4? Kulang pa tayo ng isang part. No? Now, take a look at FJ is equal to FJ. FJ is part of triangle FJC and FJ is also part of triangle FJH. So, meaning, by RPE, ano nga ang RPE? Reflexive property of equality. We can say that segment FJ, so lalagyan na natin to ng mark, segment FJ is congruent to segment FJ. So that is coming from statement number 4 RPE, definition of congruent segment. Bakit naging definition ng congruent segment? Kasi kapag ang dalawang side ay equal sa length, therefore, they are congruent. Okay? So, meron na tayong another side here. So, naka-form na ba tayo ng postulate? Yes. Meron na tayo ritong SAS, no? Side angle side. So, since we already formed the postulate, we can now have the statement number 6 that triangle FJC is congruent to triangle FJH. Tanong, bakit naging congruent yung dalawang triangle? So, because of the SAS congruence postulate. So, doon na ba nagtatapos ang ating statements and reasons? So, hindi pa. Why? Kasi ang ipoprove natin is the another part, no? Yung natitira pang part, which is angle C, is congruent to angle H. So, since congruent yung dalawang triangles, therefore, we can say that the corresponding parts are also congruent. So, statement number 7, therefore, angle C is congruent to angle H. Why? Because these are corresponding parts of two congruent triangles. So, the reason is CPCTC. Okay. So, for your learning task number 1, so given triangle BAC is an equilateral triangle. So, kapag equilateral, ano ngang ibig sabihin nun, di ba? All sides are equal. And then, segment AT bisect segment BC. So, ito daw 80 na to, hinati si BC. So, nagkaroon tayo ng two congruent segment. Prove that angle BAT, ito, is congruent to angle CAT. Ito. Ayan. So, you are going to complete the statement. We have here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, bali 6 points ang learning task number 1. Okay, learning task number 2. Supply the necessary statement and reasons. So, given, we have your triangle OPR is isosceles. So, kapag isosceles, di ba, the legs are congruent. Then, PS is the median to the base OR. So, itong PS na to median. Ibig sabihin, if this is a median, magiging congruent ito. Ayan. Prove that angle O is congruent to angle R. Yan ang ipoprove nyo kung congruent. So, we have here the statement. Triangle OPR is isosceles. What will be the reason? Number 2, blank. Then, ang reason ay given. Number 3, blanco parehas. Statement and reason. So, supply nyo yung missing. Number 4, segment RS is congruent to segment OS. So, blanco to. Okay, bigyan ko kayo ng clue. Itong number 4 ay nanggaling sa statement number 2 na given. No? Kaya ang reason niya rito ay related sa statement number 2. Yung reason nyo dyan. Next, number 5, PS is equal to PS, RPE. Number 6 ay galing sa statement 5. So, kung si PS ay equal sa PS, therefore, they are congruent. So, anong definition yan? Then, triangle PSO is congruent to triangle PSR. So, tingnan natin yung mga na-prove na parts. Ito, tsaka yan, na? What else? RS. Ayan, meron na tayong RS. So, ito. Ayan, yung statement number 3 pala, base yan sa statement 1. No? Isosceles. So, kung isosceles yan, ibig sabihin, congruent yung dalawang legs. Ito yon, legs. Ayan. Okay? So, number 8, therefore, angle O is congruent to angle R by CPCTC. Okay? Learning task number 3, do it your own. So, we have here the figure. Given, segment EM and segment KT bisect each other at O. Okay? So, EM tsaka KT naghatian. So, ibig sabihin ito ay magiging congruent dito. Ito namang EO ay magiging congruent dito. Prove that angle M, so this is angle M, is congruent to angle E. No? So, 7 statements, 7 reasons. Bibigyan ko kayo ng konting clue. No? Gagamit kayo dyan ng definition of segment by sector. Meron din kayo dyan vertical angle. No? So, kailangan ma-prove nyo na congruent si triangle TOE at si triangle KOM. No? Bigyan ko kayo ng hint, gagamit kayo dyan ng postulate na S, A, S. Okay? That's it. That is the end of our lesson for week number 7. I hope you learned how to prove two triangles that are congruent and using the CPCTC and the SAS, SSS, and ASA congruence postulate. Good day, everyone. Happy learnings.